So Kingston says he wants to join us today. How's that? Kingston, you bark into there, okay? Anyway.
Hi.
Hey, so it's me and you again, apparently, because Tim got stuck in the United States. He had some car troubles and stuff, but let's just kick off the show. Let's go.
Can we just video call him in?
No, we don't want to have him on the show, do we?
Oh, well.
This is more fun than just me and you, isn't it?
Do people want me on the show? How did last week do?
It's been doing okay so far, but let's just welcome everybody back to the show. Welcome back to the Greg and
Lorraine
Show.
Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Lorraine Show podcast. Now here are your hosts, Greg and Lorraine.
With Kingston again. So, Lorraine, I gotta ask you a quick question.
Whoa. Wait.
Wait.
What's going on here?
Hey,
Since when did you get here?
I was told that you'd be doing no more podcasts. I drove straight through the night to get here. I saw your episode. It has like 130 views. I'm losing my job. I need to show up.
I thought I was for sure taking over.
I gotta put this mic here. By the way,
you look a couple shades.
Welcome
darker.
back to the third wheel.
Get your earballs ready. Tim is back. Welcome to the Third Wheel podcast. Here are your hosts, Greg, Tim, and Lorraine.
I am Tim. I'm here with my co-host Lorraine and my co-host Greg. Wheel. And I brought 3 monster drinks, and I've given them each to Greg and Lorraine. No, wait.
Where's my drink?
Yeah, I don't see.
I don't have a drink.
Plus, I wouldn't drink it. I'd literally be bouncing off the walls. Should I leave?
We have a Red Bull. No, just stay.
No, you should
stay here. No,
let me fix the cameras here. Since now that you're here, I got to make sure that
you fix the.
We have a camera here. Just one sec, okay? Can we take a commercial break?
Sure. And action. Do we cut? You got to cut first. And cut. And action. I made a bunch of notes for your episode.
Did you really?
So I was.
You
yesterday.
Should save this for the actual podcast.
Well, this is all being recorded.
I know, but Greg's not here.
Well, you can tell me if it's interesting. But I'm talking. I'm getting into the flow.
You have so many good things to say.
I'm getting into this flow. I have the authentic Mets cap I got in Mexico.
Authentico.
Yes.
Hey, welcome back from the commercial break. Timothy, you told me that you weren't going to be here today.
No. I needed to be here.
You were stuck.
Every day, you guys record a great episode.
Yeah.
By the way, I've made a multitude of notes, which we will go over later.
You made notes on the episode?
Yes.
How many's a multitude?
There's some concerns.
Do you notice I didn't have to do this for Lorraine at all? And fix
you
that?
Actually, do it the entire episode. The
you were
entire episode. And then Lorraine
chest.
was loud. And then she was quiet. And she was loud. And then she was quiet. And she was loud. Tabby was listening in the car and say, she's way too loud. Now she's too quiet.
Sorry, Tabby.
That comes from not being close enough to the microphone.
Well, okay. I can only put it so far. A woman has, stuff that prevented from going any further.
You almost said a different word. You said this is hitting my chest.
And I don't want to bring it so
and then
far
you said,
because then you won't see
my chest. I know what she was trying to say.
You noticed the pause.
It was a pause.
So Tim,
I drove. I drove through the night to get here.
From where? People don't know where you were.
You told them I'm living the life and being in Texas.
Yeah, you were living the life.
And we were supposed to be home yesterday. Tons of time to do recordings, and I had to work. And
we were supposed to record yesterday, I think.
Yeah, we were. Probably. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't put it in my calendar. Like some people. It's tomorrow.
I guess we're not recording a podcast, are we, Tim? What day is it? I'm on vacation.
We were supposed to leave Texas on Sunday after church.
And you left Wednesday.
And Saturday morning, we're like, we're going to have some fun in Austin, Texas. It's awesome. And we're going to bring this car that totally works into the city. And it was like, no, it's not completely working. But
so what happened? What happened to the car? Did it just break down?
It just started bumping and
really for real.
And then losing power, which is a bad thing.
Yeah, that is a really bad thing.
If you're
did you plug it in?
If you're although Tesla Anyways, that's a different
Did you
story.
say Tesla?
Tesla. Is it Tesla? Anyway.
Tesla?
We had to bring it in. We had to bring our car in Saturday. It wasn't ready till Tuesday. And we left. We were going to drive straight through the night. And then a blizzard said, "No, you're not. You're to stay in blank, Kansas." I can't remember what it was called. At the one motel they have in town.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
They could probably tell on the camera right now that your hat's colors.
Oh.
The brim of the hat.
I negotiated
doesn't match the logo of the hat.
A very good deal in Costa Maya at a port in the town, and my daughter went up and said, "I want these things," and I said, "No, dear, you can't go up in Mexico and just say you want things because they're going to charge you. You negotiate."
Yes.
So I got them to throw in the hat for free, and it's very authentic New York Mets hat.
And that's so
Authentico.
fitting because don't you only wear free hats?
Like
it'd be,
and this one was
you
free
paid for it. You just wouldn't wear it, right? Like it's just
well,
not...
it doesn't stop at hats.
Oh,
he wears free clothing. He wears free underwear that he gets from the.
But you'll pay for
store.
your energy drink.
I've never.
You get thrift store underwear?
I
can't believe that.
No, yesterday we were prepared to go from Austin, Texas. All the way to
I'm not
Winnipeg.
surprised it's a pink
23 hours, 23-hour drive. So I was going to be smart about it, and I was going to buy 3 energy drinks because you can buy these, get one free.
Yeah.
And
get one what?
And I was totally pumped to drive.
How did you explain that?
You
say get one free.
Buy 2 get one free. It's late.
How many hours of sleep are you going off?
No, we were gonna have we were gonna have none, and then we stopped. We actually stopped. We stopped and we had a decent sleep, which is the benefit of spending $100 US at a motel. Good motel though. What's that?
Fair.
Yeah, and so
actually Fairview.
Yeah, it was close to Fairview. It wasn't even Fairview. It was around Fairview.
Well, you told me Fairview, and I looked it up.
I was wrong.
I found a hotel there for
just
$68.
Well, that's no.
Okay,
no, it was Canadian.
Anyway, so I was prepared to drive through the night, and I got I bought 2, got the 3rd free, and that's why I have one here. But I never actually drank it because we just went. 40 minutes later, they closed the highways, and we couldn't see that. We thought that was a good idea to stay for the night.
How many hours did you drive today?
Today, we drove 11 and a half. We actually got pretty much, that was halfway point.
Yeah.
And we unpacked, threw my family out of the car and drove here.
Came straight to Greg's
and
house.
You got Jimmy John's.
I did get Jimmy John's. I was going to come here as a peace offering so I wouldn't lose my job.
I think he ate it on the way, didn't you?
And
no, it's bread.
So what happens
I know.
So listen. Greg's, one of his favorite restaurants is Jimmy John's, and I know that. I also like Jimmy John's, but I don't like the carbs, so I lettuce wrap it.
Right,
so
and that's really good,
I
too.
started the day with a salad, and I ended the day with a salad.
Yeah, smart man.
Because actually...
I wish I had the... motivation.
What
is it?
The
discipline.
The lady at the gas station when we got there at 12:30 in the morning was like, "Yeah, in the morning you get free coffee because you stayed here, and I make you all these breakfast items." And I thought she actually meant there was a kitchen in the back,
right?
But it was like a bunch of a truck store. It was basically a convenience store, and but they had a salad bar. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I do like protein and stuff, so I made myself a salad at like 8:30 in the morning
for breakfast. Amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, who says you have to have a salad?
However, salads can be very unhealthy. People put a lot of stuff in
I agree.
People think that salads are always healthy. They're not always healthy.
I agree with you.
But yes, going back to this hat, Costa Maya got it on it. I was negotiating with a lady and she threw it in for free. It looks, you're saying it's not.
Did you notice that the rim and the logo were 2 different colors? You didn't notice at the time?
I don't notice anything.
Did anybody notice?
I like the snap. It's got the double. It's got the double snaps too on the back.
I got him to throw it in. I'm not going to complain about a free hat.
But you're going to wear it.
Fair.
And I'm going to wear it for this podcast and for all the future podcasts
all baseball
we do.
Season. And...
Yeah.
Make yourself comfortable, Kingston.
So anyway,
I pet him, but he'll sit there.
Yeah. He's like, I'll sit with mom.
Because you don't have an anxious dog. You have a dog which sometimes deals with anxiety.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, he gets anxious.
Yeah, we don't want to label.
He doesn't have anxiety.
And hopefully Kingston didn't hear me say that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he didn't. He's sleeping.
Okay, so I'm curious. What did you think of the episode? Because I felt like I had really
wrote down some notes here. I wrote some notes.
Did you?
I wrote some notes.
I'm not surprised.
By the way,
you listened to the show and wrote notes.
So yesterday,
what did you call it? The Lorraine show.
We were right there. Podcast notes for the Greg and Lorraine show.
Oh, okay.
You just saw the second line. Anyway, so we were supposed to leave Sunday. I'm still there. We're still there Tuesday morning because we only got the car back Tuesday at noon. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to run. There's a 10-mile loop. It's called Ladybird Park or whatever.
That sounds about right.
And so I ran that at like 5:30 in the morning, whatever it was, really early. I was like, well, and that's when I listened to the whole podcast, right? Because we were just running everywhere, so I didn't have a chance to, and nobody else wanted to listen to it. So
Yeah, fair.
Well, no, I'd rather you listen to it by yourself, and then Tammy listens to it by herself.
No, we
and-
both listened to it in the car. Tammy's
Okay.
like, I should listen to this. I said, yeah, sure, if you want to.
If you want to learn a little bit about Greg and
So
Lorraine.
first of all, 120.
She doesn't listen to the one of me and you, but she listens to the one of me and Lorraine.
I get it though. I barely want to watch our podcast. I'm not kidding. That wasn't a joke.
Okay, well,
And thank you very much. I am the funny one. I do appreciate that. That was in my notes.
you should have saw the stuff I cut
Greg
out that she said
tells
about you.
the dad jokes. I tell the funny jokes. I appreciate that. I could knock that off my list
You're
of
very
notes.
welcome.
I do
I
appreciate
should show
that.
you the raw video
Okay.
of
I
what
don't-
Lorraine
I
said
don't
about
know
you.
what I said.
Because there's a certain point in the podcast where I said we can't bug Tim the whole time. I actually cut out like probably 2
Yeah,
minutes
so-
of Lorraine
You guys
literally razzing on you.
You can make fun of me. That's fine. I understand.
I know you
Greg,
can handle it.
Greg carries.
wouldn't do it
Greg
if you
carries,
couldn't
and you
handle it.
apologize, Greg. Whatever. It's fine. You say whatever
Yeah.
you want. That's okay.
Can you read those notes? Are they big enough for you?
Listen, I cried for 45 minutes. I was done. It was over with, and that's fine.
You cried
right?
as in it was that bad?
You know what? And if you no,
Or like you cried laughed?
I cried because I was so hurt. I'm just saying because
Oh.
You're
you made
hurt
fun of
because
me.
Lorrain
I'm
took
sorry.
over.
I was saying I cried about it.
I'm sorry,
Um,
Tim.
Yeah, I don't cry very much, by the
Okay,
way.
so what-
anyway,
have
100,
notes.
128 views. That's double in 3 days what our last one did in, I want to say, like a week and a half.
yeah.
Why is it so hard
Yeah.
to get views on YouTube and get people to engage? Like,
Right.
why?
Yeah, so now
People-
you know. We asked a lot of questions during our episode for engagement throughout the episode.
But what? Like,
Did anybody answer any of those questions?
Yes, somebody commented that they also enjoyed mowing the grass.
Yeah.
And then Jenny commented on how intelligent I was.
Jenny,
and
I
how
thought this was a
amazing
person
I
that didn't know
was.
you at all.
No, she's from the block.
Yeah,
From the block.
she does not know me. We have
Yeah.
no idea who each other are.
Somebody completely foreign to you.
But here's the thing though, like honestly,
And
it's hard to get the comments.
Yeah. Well, and I think like what happens is like if you have like a show that's controversial
Yeah.
and talking about topics that are related to today.
Which brings us to our first topic. No, just kidding.
For example, like right now, all people are talking about in Canada, mostly in the US, is like the tariffs, right?
I don't think the US
How does
care.
it? No, US probably really doesn't because ours
they
don't
boo
really.
her anthem.
Did they?
Ours. No,
Don't
they
they?
didn't. They didn't boo our anthem
Oh.
in Boston, but we booed them
Right.
because that's what's gonna
Change things.
change things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I just think people are there for the quick, like in and out. Show me the goods and I'm out.
Right.
I don't really want to talk about it. But then if you talk about like controversial issues, people want to have their 2 cents because
Yeah.
there's too polarizing
Yeah.
left and right. And the left thinks they're right and the right thinks they're right. And
Tim thinks he's right.
Mostly the
Right?
Mandela effect.
so then
though.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what people
The
wanna
Mandela
talk
effect
about.
gets a ton of comments. Do you know what the Mandela
Yeah,
effect is?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
ridiculous.
Thought maybe we
listened
would-
to your
Did-
episodes.
hey,
Okay?
hey,
I
You listened to
wanted
the first
views.
episode.
Yeah.
I wanted the views. Hey,
Yeah.
no, I've been listening recently. Listen,
Right.
listen,
Squirrel!
Linda.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda.
It helps me be able to talk squirrel.
That is just how my brain works. Now you got a little glimpse inside my brain.
Well, we got a big glimpse
You
inside of
turned
it.
one time. You just turned like you were saying something, and you didn't segue at all till the next topic. It's like, did he cut something? I don't think so.
No, she just
that's
literally
just my
changed the
brain.
topic.
And then I come back around and then I answer the question.
Except for what you wore on the first date. Tammy's like, she still didn't talk about what you wore on her
I have
first
no
date.
idea. I have no idea what I wore on my first date, but Greg remembers.
The thing is, when I go to tell something, she's like, "But Greg, remember when we did this? Hey, remember that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I was wanted to." Never mind. I guess we'll move on.
Speaking of
We were wanting your notes.
Okay, did
Speaking
you
of- go
you
ahead.
LOL at all during the episode?
yeah,
You did?
Yeah.
Like out loud?
Yeah.
So my friend Jenny
From the block.
who I
On the
don't know,
block.
was listening, and she was like laughing on and off the whole time. I'm like, oh, what are we talking about? Oh, what are we talking about now? What are we talking about now? And like, she just thought the entire episode was hilarious. I don't think I'm that funny. I think I'm
Which
just,
is
like,
funny
slightly
because like
ridiculous,
when
but-
you listen to it on headphones, when I'm working at the computer across from you, and I hear you laughing when you're previewing the episodes, like ones with me and Tim,
yeah.
I'm like, what are you laughing at?
Yes.
What are you laughing? I
What
want
did
to
we
know what's
say?
funny
What
so
did
I
we
can
say?
replicate that because I'm not that funny.
Yeah.
Well, this
And she's like, I'm laughing at Tim.
what hat are you wearing?
University of Hawaii.
Okay.
Because
I figured it would go well because you just came back from Hawaii a couple months ago.
Sure. Okay, because we want to keep
Casey,
it.
what are we talking about today? Tim?
I'm going through my notes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Speaking of people who commenting,
Which is probably all we'll talk about today.
speaking of things that were commenting,
That's awesome.
that people were commenting about things.
Yeah.
We got another. I did not know that somebody recently said it should be called the Tim and Greg Show because you mentioned that on the podcast.
I deleted the comment, I think.
and
Censorship.
and somebody else also said the same thing like 2 days ago.
To you?
So
Or in the comments?
from Instagram on the comments.
Oh,
somebody
so
did that.
maybe-
So that's two people.
Maybe you guys need to put a poll out.
Evan, I think
Nope.
was his
What do you
name.
like better? Evan?
Evan.
Is that your alter ego?
No, it's somebody completely different than me.
Oh, sure.
I want to just hit
What's
you
his-
with this
what's his
microphone.
last name?
It starts with an
Sandercock.
S. It ends with an Endercock.
Here,
Evan Sandercock,
what?
who is one of our newest followers on Instagram, and he subscribed to our channel.
I might
He's
have,
now
on the
commenting.
11 and a half hour drive, I might have created a different Instagram.
Stop! You
account.
did not. You.
It's his
created
alter
a
ego.
fake- I'm gonna search this right
While
now.
you're looking, you look for it. Okay, next on my notes, a couple of things that you said were hilarious. One of them was you get the kids diapers and Nikes, not
Yeah.
just shoes. You
No
get
Nikes.
them Nikes.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there's no other shoes
It's
available.
fun. It's a funny story. Our doctor, like the children's doctor,
Yeah.
podiatrist. Is that what they're called? Podiatrist? Pediatric
That's
doctor?
pediatric.
Eric
Pedia-
Sandercock?
No, Evan.
Oh, because there's actually an Eric Sandercock.
It's a
Oh,
real
that's
last
Evan's-
name.
last
It's a real last
It's
name.
Evan's brother, Eric.
It's a real last name.
Eric and Evan.
You should
It's the
reach out
Eric and
to
Evan show. So the podiatrist or pediatric care person, whoever the children's doctor is, I don't know what it's called. She always said, "You guys
Pediatrician.
you shouldn't buy that because your kids need to get Nikes."
Okay.
So Lorraine always says, "Well, we got to make sure we get diapers and Nikes."
I just started following you. I'm your second follower.
No, it's not me.
You're welcome.
I said I may or may not have done
mean-
that.
Mm.
Not
I got a notification on Instagram.
You gotta be
Two
followed.
followers.
Yeah, one is Greg and Tim show.
There is another Evan Sandercock, but it's EVAN, not EVEN.
No, I'm An.
I know, but this other one is
I mean, the
EVAN.
person that is not me.
He's An. You've gone to the wrong one. He's An.
Oh no, they're both spelled the same.
Oh,
But one's
geez,
Dot
this is
Sandercock,
going-
one's.
This one's
I'm Dot, or whoever is.
So what was
Evan
the purpose
Dot
of
Sandercock. Are
creating
you
that
Evan
account?
Dot?
so I can make a comment. First of all, you said 25 people
Why don't you just?
comment, and then also I wanted to
I know
kind
we,
of put
could,
my,
we couldn't even get 25 people to comment,
Yeah.
and,
It-
then,
it
And
has
yet she's still on
nothing-
another show.
He specified that.
and yet here I am.
Yeah, we got 4 comments.
Oh, so there's a few things on my list too. Greg spent 3/4 of the show avoiding the heavy. She wanted to get into the heavy stuff like right away,
Yeah.
and every time he was like, "No, not yet," and then she, "Okay, I want it," and then she, "No, not yet."
Yeah.
The entire time, and finally she got
I
her
was
way.
like, let's talk about
with-
stuff that
with the
people are
heavy
gonna
stuff.
care about.
I'm also a very bad folder of laundry,
Really?
but I do it all the time. My
What
wife
is-
says you just need practice.
Right. Tammy, you're right.
Yeah,
They just need
I do
practice.
it all the time, and it still sucks. And remember, that was the question when we talked about the comedy show, right? And when we were on
Mhm.
stage saying the chore
Yeah,
we do the worst,
laundry.
it was folding laundry.
Yeah.
You got it right.
You got it right.
Yeah.
But I do it all the time. I guess it's not good.
So you do it
And
still.
yeah,
And,
and my
Tammy's fine. She's not like, oh, I got to refold all this stuff.
she doesn't refold it. I don't know if she rolls her eyes. I'm not checking in with her. Also,
Tammy, Leave us
Also, she's
in the
Comment.
comments.
Comment below if your husband folds laundry. Tammy, I
do.
expect a
It's
comment from
no,
you.
I do. It's just not very well. I do
Fair.
actually fold most of the laundry. It's
Yeah.
just the guy that does it the worst is the guy folding
You
it.
can always tell the towels that Tim folded.
I am liking this
mean,
breakdown, though. You're doing a good job breaking this show down.
And she mows the lawn.
Tammy
All the
does.
time?
I've seen your lawn.
95% of the time.
I've seen your lawn. That takes 2.5.
The front,
we
the
also
front grass?
we also mow the lawn of every single person on the no, we don't.
Stop.
No, you
The
don't.
neighbor's side.
Do you have one of those like rotary mowers that just
No.
like goes because the wheels go?
That's
Do-
what we don't
is-
live in Wolseley. We live in the North End.
Is it even
I know,
worth
but
it for
do
you
you
to have
need
a
a lawnmower?
lawnmower? Yeah. Do you?
Well,
need
yeah,
a
but
lawnmower?
the push lawnmowers don't cost.
You could probably
much
just go out
money.
there with your scissors.
My scissors. That's how I do my beard, which, by the way, needs to be trimmed. Which, by the way,
Which is about the same.
I
Which is
grabbed
about
a
the
hat.
same square footage as your lawn.
I grabbed a hat this morning because it was not going to be I was driving. No, I was driving through the night. I was actually the only one who took a shower this morning, but I had the same clothes because everything else was packed. So I just took a shower and then I changed into my.
You're the only one that took a
clothes.
shower this morning.
Yes.
I can't imagine how bad that place stunk in the car.
Well, it only because some people were
Smaler,
maybe were farting.
Smaler, and Schulian.
Oh, I already said.
I want to keep
Tim
hearing
tells
these
the jokes.
notes.
I know you didn't mean to say it like this, but Greg brings the money in.
Yeah.
No. That was a direct quote.
'Cause you
Greg brings the money in. No. So it sounded like Greg didn't really bring in the money.
So what did I say after no?
I just forgot. I'm too
You're like, that's all I need to hear. Taking notes.
I have a couple of more serious things that I want to ask you about for topics, but let's go. Lots of squirrels. And what was she wearing on the first date?
It was like this blouse type of thing
Yeah.
and jeans.
Okay.
It's like a brown and greenish blouse. Do you remember that one?
How do you say blouse?
Blouse?
Oh my gosh. That's not how you say.
I also say blouse. How are you supposed to say it? How are you supposed to say it?
Wait, you say it?
Blouse.
Say it into the microphone?
Blouse.
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 Yeah, blouse.
No, she
say
said with a
blouse.
Z.
You're
Blouse.
saying blouse.
I think
Blouse.
she's wrong.
Your blouse.
Blouse.
Ask ChatGPT.
Blouse.
How does
Put
it
it-
look?
I don't have
Put
anything to
it
ask.
in the comments. How do you say blouse?
We can find out.
Whoa.
Whatever.
They're just going to type in
Blouse.
blouse.
I think you're wrong. I think
blouse.
it's blouse. Can
I've
you
never heard
ask
that
Chat
in my
with your
life.
phone? Check ChatGPT.
And also,
Hey,
you had,
Siri,
and Lorraine,
how do you say blouse
you had your green jacket.
Which language?
in English?
Sorry, I can't translate
Oh.
between dialects of the same
Just say like spell the word. Like how do you
How do you pronounce the word
BL?
blouse?
How do you pronounce the word blouse? Hey Siri, how do you pronounce the word blouse?
Something.
It doesn't.
There should be a play
Oh,
button.
I should be able to go to the dictionary.
Oh, that I thought you
Anyway.
could ask ChatGPT anything.
Anyway, Lorraine had this green jacket. I think she still has it. And she was wearing a scarf. She used to
Oh,
wear
yeah.
these scarves all the time.
I used to wear scarves all the time because that
And
was
she
like
had
my
curly
outfit.
hair.
Right.
She had really tight curly
I
hair.
You showed like a
I
picture
missed
when
that
she was
curly
in-
hair.
I've seen a couple pictures around when you were married or when she was working on like a global news, which you weren't sure you could mention,
Yeah, but apparently we can.
or CKND.
Here,
There you
listen.
go.
blouse.
Yeah, you're wrong. We're
No.
right. You're wrong. We're right.
Put it closer to the microphone and turn up the volume.
Say it again.
This is the editor.
Blouse.
Thank you.
Blouse.
Blouse.
Yeah, you're
Blouse.
so
I've
wrong.
never heard that in my life.
Blouse.
But I guess that's blouse. But I guess that's probably as bad as me saying pants.
No, how do you say pants?
Pants.
No, they're not
What?
pants.
I know, but like
It's
Pants?
pants.
like
Pants.
former Vice President Pence.
Yes.
Well, now we gotta
okay.
bleep that out.
Censored.
Oh, by the way, we were in the Plaza Inn Motel in Sabetha, Kansas.
Okay.
Next,
Amazing.
the three top. Did you ever say the three top date places that you like to go to
No.
in Manitoba?
Squirrel. What do we really like, babe? We love Cafe
Succotash?
Carlo, Suco Thai, and Nicolinos.
But
Nicolinos is so
you don't have-
underrated.
everyone thinks they have to do 3 restaurants. You only go to restaurants for dates?
Yeah.
Mostly.
For the most part.
Either or it's Jets games, Bomber games, and
Restaurants.
All right.
Rich Hollow.
not
We
super
have a couple times.
Yeah.
It's more of a thing.
a one-off.
By the way, I've never heard of Purple City.
What?
Never
That's-
heard of it.
You're maybe too old for it.
So there's some people that are too young.
got to get my cane and mosey on out
There's some people that are too young and some people that are too old. But if you're Lorraine's age, you would know what it was.
You'll know what it is.
And a person that you would want to have a 20-minute conversation with. He likes to say alive, so we're going to go with that, even though I like the previous alive or dead. We'll make him happy. The person that you would like to most have a 20-minute conversation in the world who is alive today, who would it be?
Who's alive? Oh, I was thinking of somebody who.
I like
Was
that question,
dead.
but he wants alive.
I want alive. I want it to be something that we can make happen.
Oh, I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, trust me. There's power in these airwaves.
Yeah. And it can't be Scarlett Johansson.
Or it could be.
Yeah, no. I have no idea. I don't really have anybody that I'm like, ooh, I'd really like to talk to them.
If I
I
were
don't
to
just talk to anybody.
if I were to
as long as
add
I can talk to
if I were
myself.
to add the statement alive or dead,
I don't think that would make a difference.
it wouldn't make a difference.
Like,
Lorraine doesn't like talking
Like,
to people.
You
I don't like.
for me, it's like I
people.
would
No,
love
I'm
to have a
kidding.
conversation with Abraham Lincoln. That'd be so
Why-
awesome.
What would you?
I would like to have a
want
conversation
hear
with
from him?
Moses from the Bible.
Hey, you know who maybe I would be interested in talking to if
Go
we're
on.
talking about like old characters?
That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about, yeah.
John A. MacDonald,
Wasn't he like the?
first Prime Minister of Canada.
Wasn't he also a racist?
Well,
Well, they all were, but and he was a
Back
drop
then-
down drunk, right? Which everybody was too.
yeah. So like that was right. But I more so am curious what he thinks of the state of Canada right now.
Well, so you want to bring him back to life.
Yeah. Well, no.
You don't want to ask him questions about what he did.
No.
You want to
I
ask
just
him
wanna be
questions
like,
about what Trudeau
what
did.
we're doing right now. What's happening right now? What do you think?
Mm.
There you go.
Maybe he's like, yeah, this is
So you-
exactly what I envisioned
You gave one
for
of the,
Canada.
you went from not having any idea
Well, you know,
to
you
having a
kind of,
great
like,
no. You had a
gave me
great
some
answer. I think
ideas.
that was a great answer,
Oh, why?
I
Thank
really
you,
do.
Tim.
and only because we added the dead part.
I don't want to talk to
You
anybody that's
ruined our
alive.
question. For shame. By the way, your shirt matches the color. Of I do like that.
And it also
He
matches
got
like,
his-
look at you. Like, you're like every other shade of green.
Tim, he got his shirt and his hat to match. You
Yeah.
couldn't even get your hat to match.
That's every day for me.
No, but you couldn't get your...
Every day.
No,
You couldn't
not
get your
just
hat.
that.
Just
She's
nothing
saying you can't match
matches.
your hat's brim to the logo. You have a
It
Winnipeg
was
Jets...
free.
It's a Winnipeg
And it
Jets...
was free.
It's a Winnipeg Jets hat
Throw it
with a
in.
Mets logo on it.
Okay,
How's it a Jets hat?
it's not.
It's just the Jets colors.
He's saying
What?
Jets because it says Mets, and I said Nets, and he's rhyming things. He's just don't.
It's a New York Giants hat with a New York Mets logo.
By the way, the Mets
The New York Giants.
they're going to be good this year. Going to win the World
What?
Series, and I'm going to be laughing with my Mets hat while you're crying with your Yankees.
I
one.
also have a Mets hat.
Oh, okay.
I think I wore it on an episode already.
Am I allowed to follow up on the serious stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, like those are all your notes?
No, other than
Okay.
the last two questions,
Okay,
which
let's
which
hear some
are
more
more
notes.
hard hitting. Are we ready for this?
We're
Are
ready.
you ready for this?
Did
Oh,
I answer these questions already?
this is what Lorraine does with her hands. This is what Tim does. This is what shake your hand.
It's like just put your hands down. Like yeah,
I
you can
did talk
talk.
a lot with my hands.
Did you notice?
Yeah, I
I
did.
loved it.
Yeah.
I
for
love
sure.
talking with my hands. There's like a freedom about it.
So the first one was, by the way, great advice that Greg gave
About
but it brought
he was probably wrong.
an interesting discussion in my head.
Right.
Okay.
Because you were on a trip with your daughter. and her
Because
boyfriend.
what he said is very true. Like, you're dating someone. He said you pick them up at 6:00, you go on a date, you drop them off, and you see the best thing in them. And then when you get married, you wake up and their feet smell and they burp too much and they have these horrible habits. You're like, what the heck? Who did I marry? And all this reality hits, right?
Yeah.
So his advice, which is good, you should find out, go on a trip with someone, see them in the morning, see them all the time, right? But he said, and you corrected him. First, this is the first thing he said before you move in together, which was interesting. So you're advocating moving in together before marriage, and she corrected you. That's the first thing I noticed right away.
Hey, so my son has gone on a trip with his fiance.
Yeah.
Where'd
They
go?
went to Edmonton together.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's
So,
right.
but they stayed
And
at
they've gone to Calgary together.
and they've gone to Calgary together. They've
Through
been
school.
on trips together.
Yeah.
One with their college, one with staying at his aunt's place where they stayed separately. Like these are
So
ways
we
of him
think.
to go on. These are ways for him to go on a trip with his fiance before they get married. They don't live together yet,
Right.
but they've now seen each other at their worst, right? Like first thing in the morning, some people are absolute bears, and sometimes in the evening,
Did you just point at Lorraine?
some people are absolutely like energetic. And-
I would say I'm a pretty good morning person.
Right.
Yeah, she would because she's saying it to herself because I'm already at work and she slept in. But I'm just saying that there's certain things when you go on a trip like that, and I didn't say, once that trip's done, move in together.
Yeah.
No, I said before you move
That's
in
what we
together.
heard.
And even before you get married,
Yeah.
you should go on a trip together
Yeah.
so that you can see the best and worst of each other.
I won't bug you about how you said it because I
okay.
think it was kind of
No,
strange.
you won't. You already did.
However, anymore, I'm not going to continue.
Squirrel?
However, I would like to bring up a topic that I said this to my wife and I said, this is the argument people give to moving in together before they get married. This is exactly the argument. Well, how do we know unless we move in together
Test drive.
and get all the kinks out and do these things? See how we're in the morning. See how we're, other than just dating each other. Exactly. How we fold laundry, how we do, and how we share the
How we clip our
responsibilities
toenails.
before we commit to a life together and saying the vows of marriage. That's the chief argument that I hear from people today. How do you respond to that logic? Because there is some, I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but there's some logic in it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a logic. However, I think it depends where your moral boundaries are.
Right.
And we're people of faith and we believe that like marriage is sacred. And along with that comes with like you don't want to get married, but then you've already lived with them. Like, what's the point?
Right.
That's what marriage is the moving in and combining the two lives and working on it together and getting to a place where both of you are working together, right? Some people want that working together and that growing together before they make the commitment. Really, you can move in with someone and they're like, yeah, I don't like the way you brushed your teeth. I'm out.
Right.
Right. But when you make the commitment of marriage, if you brush your teeth like a crazy person, that commitment is still there. And so it's just a different dynamic of a relationship and a more committed relationship. I married you in spite of those things, not because of those things.
Right.
But also, Tim brushes his teeth and flosses in the car. So Tammy already knows what he doesn't like.
And gargles.
But did
And
Tammy
gargles.
know that before she married you?
I don't actually do those things in the car.
Okay.
What?
Just to clarify, I do not do those things.
So those are just like guys trips.
Yeah, I don't brush my teeth at all. So do you? So
Fair enough.
I almost spit my water out.
see, she tells the dad jokes. I tell the good ones. I'm gonna just. That's
You
gonna
tell
be.
the bad.
I'm gonna have like a placard on my wall. It just says that Lorraine Stewart. So do you believe that there are some people that you connect with more than others? We were at Red Rocks Church on Sunday, and the pastor gave phenomenal Doug Weckenman or something like this, right?
Yeah, just
Shout
get his
out.
name perfect.
Weckerman. Great message, and what his point
Not
was.
the Wicker Man, which is a horror show.
And it was the Red Rocks in Austin. There's one.
Oh.
This first one is in Denver, the one that started. But anyways,
Yeah.
awesome message. And what he said was, listen, everybody has their flaws,
For sure.
right? And I think even in our church, we've said like eight.
What are you
Every-
what are you pointing at yourself?
I have what flaw? do I
Yes,
think?
honey. Believe it or
So-
not.
So
Believe it or
everybody
not.
has, most people anyway, have unless there's some abuse or some people that really have issues that have things that threaten your livelihood or personhood, right?
Yeah.
But everyone has 80% of the things that you need
Yeah.
and 20% deficiencies.
Sorry, I'm just looking at Greg because he's like
Right.
staring at the camera.
Do you believe that the 80-20 rule, that you have to accept the 20 and everybody has a different 20? Like you could
enjoy the 80?
You married Greg, and Greg is awesome, but he has 80% of what you need, and there's 20% that you kind of have to live with.
Yeah.
And Jack down the street, when you were 24, would have had 80 and 20, but they would have been a different 80-20. And you chose to marry Greg.
I married Greg.
And you two made the commitment, and you worked together, and you made something lasting and work.
Right.
But you could have chosen, and his message on Sunday was about making choices. That today people are so frozen by not making a mistake, they don't make decisions.
Well,
Like the youth of today
not making a decision is a decision.
is a decision too. And what his point was, listen, even in marriage, you need to make a decision.
For sure. Yeah.
And your decision was Greg, but it doesn't mean that it wouldn't have worked with 100 other people.
Oh. Well, that's begging the question, do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe there's one person for every
Right.
person?
And we talked about
no,
that.
I don't.
Yeah. So going back to
Don't worry, honey.
going back,
I love you.
So going back to your point, I would agree with that, because your point is, listen, you don't need to move in together. There's going to be 20% of the stuff that's going to piss you off.
Whoa.
And it's going to tick you off about somebody. A different 20 is going to tick you off about somebody else. You have to accept and make a commitment that you are going to love that person despite that 20.
There's no way that you're going to get the perfect partner unless your partner is so weak and has no opinion, no backbone, that they'll just bow down to everything you say, and will do and listen to all your commands and change.
And that's what I thought about.
And no man or person can change for another person.
That's honestly what I thought about when I was looking for a podcast partner. Right? like I can't find the perfect podcast partner.
I don't mind.
I can't find the perfect podcast partner. I didn't even want my wife to be my podcast partner.
By the way, did you go on a trip with him before you got married?
Yes, we did. Okay. Yeah, we went on a cruise. It was our first
and Mexico.
Cruise. And Mexico. We went to
went on 2 trips.
My friend got married in Mexico.
Right.
That was 6 months after we met.
So was there eye-opening things during that you said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know this about Greg.
This guy is awesome," is what she thought. I woke up one morning with a pineapple in my bed.
Greg was a hoot.
There's pictures.
Greg is a good time. If you know Greg.
Right.
Sometimes he likes to take it, far, but it's always with good intentions.
Right.
And so imagine early dating and we're still in the honeymoon phase and he's having a good time and you're like, oh, this
swimming in my underwear at 2
fun,
in the morning.
You know, like that's he matched my energy, right? Which was good to see too, right?
Yeah.
Being in that environment.
I wasn't swimming in my underwear. Just kidding.
I don't remember you being like a tense traveler, and sometimes you can be because you want to make sure like I just traveled with my friend Jamie to Toronto, and we get through security and we're super relaxed and joking around with everyone. And then we realized, we have an hour and a half until our flight leaves. Oh, let's go get a drink. So we go sit at the bar and have a drink. I would never have done that with Greg.
Right.
We are sitting at the gate and we are waiting and we're going to not move because what if we start boarding earlier? What if they move?
But here's the
thing.
Here's the thing. The difference between me and Lorraine.
What if? And I'm like, Jamie, this is so relaxing.
The difference.
I'm like, I'll wait till they call my name.
Can I explain something?
I never do that.
The difference between me and Lorraine, though, is that Lorraine if Lorraine traveled as often with Jamie as she does with me, she will eventually miss a flight.
I don't know about that.
Yes, she will. She will miss a flight.
Why?
There's a funny movie, and I can't remember the name of it, and they call it Dicking Around, and then all of a sudden they overdicked. And we're late. We overdicked.
And then I just saw a TikTok the other day. I'm getting all these cruise TikToks lately. I wonder why. And it was a TikTok where the guy's videotaping from his balcony saying, how many people are going to get left behind? And he has the clock at the top. They're leaving at 5:00, and the other timer showing what time it is.
I've seen
and
the
it's
vid-
people getting
I've
on
seen
the
the
ship.
video. I was mentioning that to my kids. And
4:59, 4:59,
Yeah,
5:00. You see a family running with their kid,
Yeah,
and then the boat has pulled away, and you see like 3 families standing there, just like,
Oh crap.
what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
That's you at the airport without me. Eventually.
So listen, Linda, okay? And if you haven't seen that YouTube video, Greg will play it.
Yeah.
No, I don't have
It's
it.
right here. It's right here above your head.
So, no, you probably don't even know what I'm referring to when I say, listen, Linda. It's this like video of this little kid that's like scolding his mom, whose name is Linda. He's like, listen, Linda. Linda, listen. Linda, listen. It's the cutest video. Anyway,
But we should have him pull it up anyway,
yeah,
right?
Greg should play it just so people can get a reference.
Toys.
Okay, but I have to yell at you guys.
Linda, listen,
Be-
listen,
you-
listen, Linda.
But
Okay.
anyway, so like and then I've already told you this before.
Yeah.
I don't get excited about my vacations
In case he misses the flight.
until I arrive at my destination.
Right.
That's when I get excited about my vacation.
Right.
So like, yes, it's harder for me. My personality makes it harder for me to want to relax and get relaxed and enjoy myself at the airport, because I honestly, like, I grew up flying standby. I grew up with the option to not go on these trips
Right.
a lot of the times. So now when I get to the airport and I'm waiting, I'm like, okay, I gotta get on the plane. I gotta get comfortable. I gotta get seated. The plane's gotta leave. I gotta land. Once I land, I can enjoy myself and I can relax. And I do. I relax a lot more once I'm in the places that I'm going to.
Yeah.
And that's when I get a giant sombrero and a pineapple and I start partying in my underwear. Okay?
Or without your underwear.
No, there's
Well,
underwear.
let's hope there's not. Underwear.
Well, wait.
That'd be
Well,
awkward.
I mean, okay, I get you. Okay,
In
so-
public.
So I think with that, you guys have given great observations about that. We can leave it for now.
Yeah. What's your next question?
So this is my last question. I think we've been going
we can
for a
wrap
while.
it
here.
up.
Okay, I need to know. We talked to Wally.
Hmm.
We talked to Abby.
Yeah.
Both are running for the Conservative.
Who are you voting for?
Wobby? Wait, that's somebody else.
That's-
okay. I have.
He's a
Okay,
DP.
Wobber, actually.
I have
It's
to.
Wobber.
Is it Wobber?
Wobber, yeah.
Yeah, I have to know, Lorraine, because you
Mm.
kind of opened up the door for me to ask this question, and we've had both candidates who have a huge. They have talking points about Mr. Wob Canoe, who is our
Yeah.
premier at this time.
Mm-hmm.
You worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
What are your
No,
thoughts?
not with. So, like,
Like,
You were a colleague, or
Yeah,
you worked
yeah.
alongside in the same area as Wob Canoe.
yeah, like we would cover the same story, so we'd show up to the same.
Your thoughts on Mr. Wob Canoe?
we have to give
Well-
ours all the time.
And the show is done. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye. No, like Wob Canoes.
What'd your mom always say to you?
My mom always say to me.
Yeah, if you don't have anything nice,
Nice
to
to
say.
say. Don't say anything at all. Actually, my mom never said that to me. That
She
is
said,
the-
spew it.
yeah.
Spew what you think.
No, you know what? Like from what I know about Wob, he was a great guy. Definitely not shy, I would say, which bodes well to the position he's in right now. Did I ever see him running for politics? No, definitely not. But I would say just like any other journalist, he enjoyed the spotlight, right? So that also makes sense for the role that he's in.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some trouble with, and he's admitted it in the books that he's written it, some legal issues. But haven't we all? Well, not yet
No.
anyway. for me.
Legal issues? No,
But-
I haven't.
no.
No,
Nope.
you haven't, Dave.
Other than that one incident.
Yeah,
With the-
no,
with
like
the cab driver?
here's the thing: when you enter politics, yeah, and Greg and I have talked about this because he's like, "Hey, what do you think? Do you think I should run for politics?" And
Yeah, do you think I should run
because
for politics then?
I believe that if you want change, you should be the change. And so many of us, we're upset about what's happening in Canada, and we're angry and outraged, but we're doing nothing, and we're just staying silent. And I'm probably one of them because I don't know what I can say that will make a difference, because I'm just one voice. But imagine if there was like millions of me's that spoke up.
Right.
We could inflict change. But to become a politician is like no joke. They dig into your past, they being journalists. They want to know your dirt. They want to know that your skeletons in the closet. Like there's no secrets. There's no my life is private anymore. And people automatically like stop trusting you. Like imagine for an instance if I decided to run for the next MLA or MP, whatever.
Which is the next question.
Would you trust me again? To like, is what she's saying
Depends on which party you run
even
for.
True. I think honestly, it doesn't matter. I just think politicians in general doesn't matter the party.
Politicians are not trusted.
It's just a realm.
Yeah.
It's like when I was a news reporter, everybody was cautious about what they would say around me. They're like, "Oh, are you going to use this? Do those glasses have a camera in them?" Which now you can get glasses like that,
which
are $600.
They're not $600. Jeez.
But like, yeah, like I don't know. Whenever you're in a position that requires a spotlight, you're going to run into issues, and I'm guaranteed. There are people out there that have issues with our premier, and there's a lot of people that love him. And I think he's doing a pretty good job right now.
If you were to say something to Wob Canoe right now to sell him on coming on our podcast, what would you say?
Well, just do it.
Just do it.
Why is that hard?
Nike.
Let's patent it. Yeah, Nike. We're in full circle here. And
I've done it twice now. Look, I survived.
So you were here that one time. I don't know if Greg mentioned it, but we had a local politician, a very high-ranking local politician.
The mayor?
Possibly the mayor. who
Scott Gillingham.
Scott Gillingham and his handler. I know I'm not supposed to say handler. But,
it's so funny that they're handlers. They're not like a dog.
They kind of is kind of
yeah.
But that is kind of a word you would use.
Scott
anyway,
didn't have a leash, but Abby did.
His handler
got tugged every so.
Was saying we need more women in politics.
Yeah,
and
true.
And he's like almost making can you get Lorraine to run as and we'll help her. Who was it that said that? It was
Scott's handler.
Yeah, was saying that you should make a stab at running for an MLA position.
I don't know. I'm
not MLA, a counselor.
City councilor.
Yeah, sorry.
See, that's a role that's definitely a lot less polarizing than like an MLA or an MP or.
Would you do it,
Prime Minister,
if I said you're never going to do it? like a certain high school teacher. You're never going to do it, Lorraine.
I'm not.
Never.
I'm not 15, and I have a little bit more confidence in myself. I don't know. I've thought about it, but I've got too many other things going on right now.
Let's make the announcement now.
That's a maybe.
No. Let's make the announcement right now. Right now, live. From the Greg and Tim show with Lorraine,
who's the
Third Wheel podcast, Lorraine is going to unseat Ross Eady.
Hey, Ross Eady, and I want you to do it into a camera like a WWE wrestler.
I don't live in that neighborhood.
Ross Eady, you won't even see it coming. I'm coming to get you.
Tim, you can't say that.
No, figuratively. Oh, you meant like that, literally. Oh,
I thought that's what you meant.
That's terrible. Lorraine, now you can't run.
No, you said it.
No, I didn't. That's a figure of speech. I can't believe. And that's all the time we have. Thanks for watching The Third Wheel. I'm your host, Tim. Yeah, we won't end it like that.
Lorraine didn't say it. You said it.
No, I was talking.
You said.
How are you going to edit that?
I'm not. Wow.
Okay. Let's on the
shovel.
We are going to end. We are going to end on the most important thing.
Oh man, we're gonna get letters.
We're
gonna get actual letters, not comments.
It'll still be Mandela effect. It'll still be Mandela effect.
Cease and desist letters.
Okay, when you say coffee tastes gross,
man, that's
funny. Are you thinking black coffee? Like if someone made you a
all
coffee.
Coffees.
No, stop.
Anything
Lorraine,
that has coffee in it.
Lorraine, just stop.
You made her cry.
If someone made yesterday, I had the most amazing coffee. It had cream. It was like a latte. It had like foam on top. They even put whipped cream on top. If you had a sweet,
did it taste
creamy,
like coffee?
Coffee. I don't know what you think coffee tastes like.
Like coffee.
No, that doesn't answer my
Okay,
question.
so one time
Do you like the smell of
at
coffee?
the church, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
At the church cafe
Yeah.
or at work, we went to the church cafe to get drinks, and I had ordered a white hot chocolate.
Right.
And I get back to the office and I take a sip, and it is not.
Oh, it was the
It
white
is
hot
a
chocolate
white
latte.
hot mocha.
Yeah.
And I literally could not drink
Right.
another sip. I was disgusted.
Okay, fair enough.
I have tried the fancy
Right.
bougie coffee. I have tried a sip of just black coffee. It's an acquired taste that I don't get why somebody would drink it. It's like I don't like beer.
Right. Oh, I don't like
And
beer
it's
either.
like, why would you drink that if it doesn't
if
taste
you
good?
had 8 or 9 now, right in a row, you'd
Beers?
probably enjoy it. Just kidding.
I'd be laying on the floor.
I don't think she'd see it coming.
Anyway. I don't know
Wow.
why the response. I don't know. He said, I don't know who Ross Edie is.
You don't know who that is?
Maybe.
Well, after the show, we'll explain this joke to you.
Because I don't know. Did I say something?
For context, Ross Edie
I
is
know.
legally
I
blind.
know.
Okay.
I know he is. I know he is.
Oh,
He's
so
been-
you're not going to play ignorant on this one anymore.
I
You know what you said.
So
You know what you said.
Ross Edie has been in politics for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm very impressed with him in terms of like how he got into it in
Yeah.
the first place. Being somebody who's blind, right? Like that's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
And the things that he's brought to City Hall's attention in terms of like the inability for people who are blind and have other disabilities to get around the city.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
I'm sure he's a fine
good for
gentleman.
him. Yeah, he is.
Point Douglas, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, my area, close to my area,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, he took over for Harvey.
Weinstein.
What? I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say
No,
No.
Lorraine's crying. There's tears coming
He
down
took
her
over
eyes.
for the other Harvey guy, the old Harvey
Is it Harvey Smith?
Specter.
You must have old for our younger viewers. Harvey Specter
Was in Suits.
was it?
He was
No,
the lawyer in Suits.
Was he?
Yes.
Who's the other Phil Spector? Oh, he's the one that killed people. No, he was a famous producer, The Wall of Sound in the 60s.
I don't know.
Phil Spector. Anyway, how do we end this?
Well, I say
Lorraine,
just bid everyone
You've
farewell.
actually been on this podcast twice now. So
How did I do?
well,
Fire. Okay.
Bye, Lorraine. Anyway, we need to remind people they need to like, subscribe, share, comment.
hit the smash the button.
If you have any complaint letters, send them to Greg. Any
Tim Sanderson. What's your
Or,
address again?
Evan Sandercock on Instagram.
Evan.sandercock at gmail.com.
gmail.com.
.com.
And yeah, perhaps
Lorraine.
next week she's literally spewing. Sure, that water's gonna come out.
I don't know why I drink.
Water's so gross. It's an
Oh my
acquired
goodness.
taste.
I gotta mix my water with whipped cream.
Anyway,
Even with whipped cream, it still tastes horrible.
thanks for watching The Third Wheel.
The third
with
wheel.
my guests Lorraine and Greg. We will see you all next week. I bid you adieu.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.